Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, no, just a second. First on the agenda is Lacey Soccer Club, permission to post signage.
The Lacey Soccer Club reached out. They are looking to post 10 lawn signs across town to promote their upcoming registration, and they will have them removed by March 3rd.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Number 2, permission to use Bayfront Park for a candle lighting memorial service on 4/12/24.
Annually, we have a resident reach out to us who looks to host a candlelight memorial ceremony in honor of her cousin who passed away. The scheduled event is for Friday, April 12th at 6:30, and she has a rain date request of April 19th.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
That's all I have. Motion to adjourn?
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Township meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to the Public Laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Please rise for the salute to the flag and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I start with the ordinances, I just wanted to read this so that everybody's aware. During the next, our next meeting on February 29th, I wanted to give plenty of notice. We've had to move it from 5 o'clock to 3 o'clock, which is a budget meeting night, just so everybody knows because of conflicting with our schedules, just so everybody's aware. Okay. First reading ordinance 2024-4, authorizing the acceptance of a deed dedication of open space.
Ordinance in the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of a deed of dedication of open space from Aria Properties at Paradise Point for Block 265, Lot 1.01, in accordance with the local lands and buildings law.
Move it. Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Second reading of ordinance 2024-3, amending an ordinance determining the sales, wages, and compensation of the officers, employees, and members of the governing body of the Township of Lacey.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled An Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, affixing and determining the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers, employees, and members of the governing body of the Township. Second reading, open the floor for public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-85, authorizing a change order to a contract with Swift & Son Incorporated.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of an amendment to the contract with Swift & Sons for the Lake Barnegat Drive and Haynes Street Traffic Signal and Intersection Improvement Project.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-86, appointing a member to the Municipal Alliance Committee.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appointing Linda Frizola to the Municipal Alliance Committee of the Township of Lacey.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-87, authorizing the refund of deposit monies.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposit monies held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. Resolution 2024-88, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills. This is in the amount of $1,006,072.98.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. Motion to approve caucus excuse me. Motion to approve caucus meeting minutes from February 8th, 2024.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. Motion to approve township meeting minutes from February 8th, 2024.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. Motion to approve the raffle license for Horizons at Barnegat Women's Club, Lacey AYFL Football and Cheer, and Rotary Club of Barnegat.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. And then, are we doing that first? Okay. Comments from the committee. Deputy Mayor, would you mind going first?
Thank you so much, Mayor, appreciate it. I did bring with me tonight, there was one of the commenters who doesn't appear to be here tonight, just some of our lake results to just prove to the gentleman. Go to ochd.org. You can see every lake result going back. I think posted up there is until back to 2019. But in particular, I'll leave these. I just happened to pull 3 different months from last year. I'll leave them with it, Ms. LeRae, and then they can be picked up. But listen, anytime anyone wants to see any of our lakes that get tested, and that is including Lake Barnegat, Bamber Lake, Lake Barnegat Middle Beach, Bamber Lake West, and Forest Row Avenue. They're all here to take a look at. In addition, I was at the Central Ocean Business Association meeting last Friday morning in Bayville, New Jersey. It's always well attended. They are good advocates of the business community. As I always say, no matter what your issue is, it's derived from the backs of taxpayers. We know that up here. We try to steward people through the application process. We don't just shove an application under a piece of thick glass and say, fill it out, write a check. We walk people through it. We pride ourselves on that because we want to be fertile ground for business. I want to thank publicly the 9th District for advocating for us. We're all on emails, I'm sure, about the taking personal exception and petitioning the governor not to raise and punish people who work in this state. I'm talking about Monmouth, Ocean, and Middlesex for the toll raises. And I have one final comment. I received a text from Assemblyman Rumpf a moment ago. Hope this email finds you well. As you know, FY 2024 state budget included $20 million for stabilization aid to help school districts adversely affected with funding formula changes under S2. I'm pleased to inform you the following school districts in your legislative district receive stabilization aid grant. Lacey Township School District, $579,457. They're still $3.5 million short. So get on the phone, please, advocate for our kids. 609-292-6000 is the governor's office. Schools need some help, and that's our future. So the 9th District's been more than above board and working really hard to get and help with this 579. Kids still need more money to float these schools and give a decent education. That's all my comments for this evening. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Dykoff.
No comments this evening, thank you.
Mr. McDonald?
Yeah, I think last week, Deputy Mayor Cortella and myself, Veronica attended, met with the school board. And I'm going to concur with Deputy Mayor Cortella's remarks tonight. Because I didn't know about this until he said it. 579,000, was it?
Yes, sir.
Too little. Much, much too little. If we want to have a good school district, they got to get the money from the state. That's your money that goes to Trenton That's not coming back here. Let's understand that real quick. It's not coming back here for whatever reason. And it hurts the town. It absolutely hurts the town, and I agree with you. We got to do something about that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kennis?
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item. I think it was brought up last week about the, or last meeting about the police blotter. I spoke to the chief today. He had a number of civic groups also requesting that we start reposting the police blotter, so he's going to start running that monthly. That's my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Kennis. That was one of my comments. I did speak to the chief, and he did say that he would work on getting it back, the information back out there, so something that's going to be taken care of. I wanted to just take a note and say that tomorrow's a senior luncheon here we have that our Municipal Alliance runs, starts at 12 o'clock. Welcome to the new member that we just signed in tonight. I also wanted to just take a minute and say that it was nice to receive a compliment from someone in our area that was helped by both our dispatchers and our police department resolve a problem they had, and they just took the time to write a nice little note and say that we went the extra mile, which is always nice to hear about our police force here in town. Also want to take a minute to say that our Rotary Club is celebrating 50 years, and they're going to have a nice event on the 19th of March, and so we're just real happy for them. 50 years is a long time to be as a organization. That's a great thing. Also, I'm doing this as something on the side. It's not like I'm involved in any of these companies. I know someone asked me because I was promoting this other bagel store that just opened up. I just feel like it's our duty up here to let people know when a new business has come to town. And if they come to me and they share their information with me, I'm going to share it with you. There's another young man that just started a business here. It's called Pro Tech Tinting. He's on Main Street, over, I think, behind Fusciello's Deli there. I think his business is back there. Just, it's nice to know these companies are coming into our town and promoting their business. So I'm here to help them do that, too. That's part of our job here, too, to make sure we get the good little businesses in here and share the wealth with them, too. So that's all I have. I'll open the floor to the public. Oh, come on up.
Tony Mandra, Dugout Drive. It's nice to hear that the committees are talking to the chief and want it. Funny. But just a couple of things, Mayor, I'd like to go over. I was amazed. I haven't been in meetings in a long time. I think the last time I was here, I asked for a podium, and they told me, no, you can't have one. But I was amazed how the interaction in the meeting, but that's for another day. As far as my interaction, I just sat there and listened because I wasn't going to come up for another 5 minutes. But I'd just like to review a couple of things which stood out to me. I thought the police blotter incident would be a simple thing, a couple of emails back and forth. You would tell me with the chief to tell me to go somewhere, or he would do something. That's not how it happened. The part that bothered me was that I got no response from you, which we talked about. Not the second one, the first one. I'm going to make myself clear.
Yeah.
The part that really bothered me is when you said, I said to you I didn't get a response, you looked down the desk. And that scared me because I hope, for the town's sake, that something big doesn't come across your desk and you have to deal with it. That's number one. Number two is that I think the first thing, if you did respond to my email, the first email, let's forget about the second, the first email, if you did respond to it, I think the reaction you would have had was, Tony, this is what I said in it. But you didn't have that reaction. You just looked down the desk, and I know who you were looking at, because somebody down there, it was their fault, which to me is scary as mayor. All right, the third thing is the over-the-top reaction you had. You said, and I'm not going to quote exactly, but you said something to the circumstances that, what do you want me to do? Take a patrolman off the route to take care of that? I mean, that is such an overreaction. I'm bringing this to you the first time, and that's your reaction. So like I said, I hope nothing heavy comes across your desk and you have to deal with it. As far as the policy, this is what I didn't understand. You said that only police officers can fill out the police blotter. That's what you said. Everybody said that? And what amazed me when I was talking about it, not anybody up here either agreed or disagreed that they wanted the police blotter back. Not one of you. It's just amazing that all 5 of you agreed that the police blotter not being there is okay. That part bothered me. But I got to ask you a question. Is the police officer to fill out the police blotter, is that law or is that policy?
Well, I believe it's a combination of both, to be very honest with
Because
you.
I looked up every possible law. People will tell you up here, I do my homework. I've looked up every law, and I could not find a law. Not only did I do that, but I called the Ocean County, and they said to me they were going to go look into it and get back to me. And we know how that went. No one ever got back to me. So I really don't think there's a law. But if there is one, I wish somebody would just send it to me. I'd really like to look at it.
Can I just interrupt you for one quick second?
Sure.
Just hang on there. I'm not understanding. So the point is, and you want to get your point across about everything I did wrong, so that's fine. Big girl, I can handle that. Here's my point. I took care of it immediately after our last meeting. The next morning, I was at the chief's office, spoke to him, handled it. As you heard Mr. Kennis speak, it's going to come back on. I don't know the purpose of this at this point. Is it just to, like slam me?
No,
Is that it?
because
Because I mean, that's how
like I
it's
said,
feeling right now.
I think it was just an overreaction. Why do you put me on the spot saying, do I want a police officer? You pointed to the police officer off the patrol. I never said that. I never said anything like that.
Okay.
And if that doesn't bother you, then, well, that's something. Another question for you, as far as the law, like I said, if anybody can send that to me, I'd like to see it. Is it the mayor or council, are they allowed to look at police reports?
No?
None at all?
No?
Only
Things that
police?
have to be redacted and stuff out of certain reports, if you're not personally
So in
related
other
to
words,
it. That's-
Veronica, not one up here has ever looked at a police
I
report?
can't answer if they've ever looked at a
Looked at
police
police
report,
report.
but we, as township employees, do not supply police reports to them.
I didn't say supply, I'm just saying no one has ever gone into the police station and looked at a police report.
No?
Okay, I just want to know if they're able to do it.
No.
Because then I'll.
Not with the law, not with the laws there are today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
just
sure.
asking.
Well,
Asking a
Chris
question.
can, Chris can, I guess, attest to this, but I think it's the chief's discretion whether they want to print a police report. It's not a law, it's the chief's discretion whether they want to put out a police blotter.
And under the chief's Bill of Rights, we can't tell the chief what to do.
Yeah,
And in
I'm
it-
just asking you a question because you said that only police officers can fill out the
Can
police
I,
blotter.
Mayor?
And I just a question
And
on it, that's
additionally,
all.
the chief would say it better than I'm going to say it here, but there's reasons why that he's only wants to limit it to once a month. If stuff has to get expunged, it becomes a problem for him. There's other reasons he gave me, but that's, there's reasons why it doesn't come out that quickly and why they don't necessarily want to do a police blotter. But he's going to do it, and,
Let me jump in and touch on, let me just address some of the things.
Jump in.
There's several reasons why you only want a police officer or somebody doing that of high rank preferably. There's ongoing investigations, there's things we would never know about, that may be an investigation with the prosecutor's office, so you can't put part of a story on there. There's things that, as you heard Administrator Luray talk about, need to be redacted, could involve a minor. So there's some very sensitive information on there.
Here, I understand that. I'm just trying to clarify it because things were told to me.
Well, the mayor said
I don't
correctly so that a police officer should be doing
Okay,
that work.
yeah,
I wouldn't feel
yeah,
comfortable if anybody but a police officer
I
did
looked
it.
it up. There's no law. I haven't found a law, and Ocean County never got back to me. So I'm guessing it's policy.
Under the chief's Bill of Rights, he determines what
Police
gets.
Bill of Rights?
Yes, the police
I
Bill of
looked at
Rights,
the
he
bill.
determines how the departments run and what he puts out there.
Okay, so Police Bill of Rights. All right, and then the other thing is, you said it's going to be put out every month?
Monthly.
What is it?
Monthly.
Monthly. I don't think that's right for us.
He has a better reason than I can articulate here, but like I said, because some stuff has to get expunged, it's, as Peter said, some of that stuff is in review or under investigation, so that's why, some of the reasons. He gave me a few
Well,
reasons I didn't write.
The other part of that, Steve, if I may say it, residents don't want a fluff police report or police blotter. Got a lot of emails back that saying that, and you guys read them, I'm sure you, and I can put out another survey for you guys to wake you up a little. They don't want a fluff one. They don't just want to hear about Walmart got shoplifting. They want to know about the converters that were stolen, the houses that were broken into, the cars.
And
that
the
were
chief did
taken.
speak about that.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we need to know.
So I'll reach out
The first thing that a police officer, I would think, if something on my block, and I'll say this again, if something on my block a house was broken into,
you
I
would
would
know.
think the police officer would go door to door and ask if I have a ring. I like my house so much I put a ring on it. That's the story goes. But you'd think he would go door to door and ask them,
I don't want
Myself
to,
and, me
and that's what amazes me, that you don't want to give that information out to people.
But they do that, Tony. If there was something in your neighborhood, they would come knocking to your door. So thank goodness there's nothing going on in your neighborhood.
Right.
But under the Chief's Bill of Rights, he is not required to put out a blotter. So we're getting him to put out a blotter.
I got you.
So be happy.
You're not getting him. I'm getting him to put out.
No, you're not getting him.
Excuse me, excuse me for one-
But let me just answer your
excuse me
question,
for
Vaughn.
one sec.
I got an email from somebody, got a call too, that there were, and you tell me if it's true, I don't know if it's true, that there were Cadillac converters were stolen on Llewellyn, and nobody was notified on the block. Neighbors told neighbors.
That was-
Now, I don't know how true that is.
That was a while ago.
Somebody-
I want to say that was
somebody
last
gave that
year.
to me.
Yeah,
last
that
year.
was
It was
last year, and
over
it
a
was
year
in the
ago.
paper.
Yes.
It was in the
Nobody-
paper.
Nobody told the person, I'm surprised it was in the paper. How do you?
It was in the Asbury Park Press.
all right, I don't want to cut you off. You're going to have to,
I got you.
your
I
5
got a
minutes
second
are up.
part to this,
All
which,
right, you
a
can
little,
come.
a little math to help you guys with trying to
Okay,
get the
Mr.
money.
Manager, you can come back
I
up,
got you.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak?
I just wanted to question with the Swift and
Can you
Sons.
move up a little bit to the microphone, please?
Swift
It's
and
hard to
Sons.
hear.
Is that Lake Barnegat Drive and Haines Street? Did I hear that?
That was
correct?
finishing the project and
That's
paying the
what's
final
finished?
quantities, yes.
Okay.
That was a change order to finish up the work and to close it out.
So right now, it's illegal for anybody to walk that lives west of Lake Barnegat to the rail trail?
Nobody says it's illegal.
There's no shoulder.
Okay, but nobody says it's illegal.
It's against the law to walk where there's no shoulder.
I'm not aware of any law that says that.
Is that something you're aware of? Have you got something that says that to us?
I read that. I'll bring in the information if you'd like to have.
Yeah,
I've
but
never
there's
heard
no,
that
a
before.
police officer's not going to issue a summons to somebody who's walking on the shoulder. And as I explained to you, I think it was the last meeting, if not the meeting before, there is no additional property there to put a shoulder in without us going through eminent domain and taking people's front yards on both sides of the street.
I think taking
We
peop-
actually did look into that with our engineering firm, and there's no additional right-of-way there at all.
Okay, but the children, so they can still cross even though there's no crossing guard?
That
Again,
is something
that's
that
the
the
school.
school needs to
The
address.
school, you should.
And they are
to
talking
them.
about that.
So the children only, the ages of the children, once they're in fifth grade, after fifth grade, they're on their own?
You have to speak to the schools as
Have
to
to
who
talk to the
walks.
Board of Ed about this. It's not.
Okay, it's very
their-
dangerous.
I know, it's their responsibility to do this, okay? It's not on us.
But the engineer was, I think whoever hired the engineer has some responsibility here.
But you just heard. what-
Fortunately, nobody's got, somebody got
No.
killed right down the street, also on Lake Barnegat, not far. Was it Hardwood or Westwood?
Somebody
Someone
got killed?
at the other light? Well, it wasn't, it was, yes. There's-
Recently?
No, but within, there's still,
Within-
there's.
I know where the
there's
street
two
is, but I'm
deaths
just-
right.
I'm
right
asking
in
you the
that.
time frame of the death.
2019, 5 years ago?
Oh, all right, well, our budget meeting is happening now. It's something that we can look at on the engineering. to whether we,
Well, that you'd have to go and acquire.
right, we can,
pieces of property.
it's
That's
at the
the
budget
problem,
time,
is
we
we
can
have
at
to
least
get
discuss it.
property. Right.
If we,
Right.
it's no different than any
And
other.
I'll tell you this, the last time we tried to acquire land over there, how long did it take us to acquire that land there?
Like 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years, just to acquire the land. So,
So typically, just,
You know.
just, on an item like this, it would sort of go through, start at DPW, so that it gets on their list of projects. That's usually how we'll bring this up, like I said, our budget meeting's next Thursday.
Okay.
So it'll be on, we'll discuss it, but usually it helps to get it onto the list that's recommended by the department heads.
Okay, one other question. I noticed the fringe is covered on the flag. Are you now constitutional law instead of admiral law?
Which? What?
The flag?
right back
I
there.
think it's just the way it was taken off to be cleaned, and I think it's just the way the person put it back up. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Okay, so it's admiral law. Okay, thank you.
Kevin, would you like to come up?
Kevin Flynn, Barnegat Pines. After discussion at the Republican Club meeting last Tuesday, with the police station and everything, and the way the buildings are here, I have a plan. Yep,
Is that like you have a dream?
yep.
Okay.
We need a new police station. Hands down, need a new police station. So we build a new police station over where you want it, Steve, so we can tie that property up, so they're not building any apartments over there. Okay? Veronica, you said this courtroom is not up to code or today's standards, correct?
The courtrooms, the ADA requirements, yes.
Great. We'll put the new courtroom in the police station. Get the downstairs, Lisa's department, move them over in the police station where they belong. Now, this gentleman wouldn't have to walk across over there for the meetings or court or anything, be right in the building. So now we got an empty police station. Take the building department, put them in the police station. Oh, wait, first, now we have this big open room. The only ones left downstairs is the tax assessor. We got a giant room here. If any of the offices are busting out of space, put them in here and put the tax assessor in their office. Only one left is Casey. We could probably put him in the conference room right back there. Now everybody's out of the basement. Got plenty of room for storage for all our records we generate in this building. Now we take the building department, put them in the police station. The whole basement's empty, so now all the paperwork is storage downstairs. Don't need anything, and boom, that's taken care of. Now we got an empty building on Route 9. Put the vets works back up on Route 9 in the building department. Now we got the food bank. Gonna spend $100,000 on it. Let's fix the roof, build them a new building, a steel one, however big it may be, 40 by 40, 60 by 60. Put that in the back parking lot while we're building that. When it's all done, they move all their stuff in there, knock that building down. Just put a patch on the roof.
Do you want me to critique?
Well, I mean, I'm just, hey, we're only building one building, and then fix this building, like, and I'm, like, the building down at, we got a talented group back at Public Works. They could do a lot of stuff, renovations in this building.
So-
They renovated the whole community center.
There's plenty of ideas. That's not a bad, that's a good idea, right? Or it's a feasible idea, I'll say that. One of the things that, our responsibility up here as a governing body is to, I think, the only responsibility, two of them, are to plan for the future and manage the budget. So I don't disagree with anything you said, sort of in theory, except we're always trying to maximize our budget. And by leaving these buildings here, any of our commercial property, that's all we have left to develop in this town, more or less. That at some point, it still makes the most sense to have these properties back on the tax roll.
And how much you gonna get for taxes on them, Steve? We're gonna be 100 million if you bid your whole, all said and done, at the end, close to 100 million. How long will it take, if you're gonna get the tax money back in ratables on this property to make the payment on that building? Have at it, man, go for it. But that's not gonna happen.
So again, the point is, any money invested in these properties, you're collecting zero forever.
And we're still not collecting enough to make the payment on the billing, so the taxpayers are paying for it.
The point is, you'll be getting more than zero. That's all. That's the
But
the
we're also
premise.
just kept the cost down and we're only building one
I
building.
said, it's an option. I said, much like building a whole complex there is an option. We're exploring
Well,
options.
that's step one.
What's that?
You already got your police station over there, so maybe in the future, when that's paid down, you can go build your new Taj Mahal municipal
I
building.
said, these are all options. So we appreciate the thought. We'll
Well,
think about it.
all right, and then question, do we pay Johnson Controls yet?
I haven't received the bill.
Okay, because, I mean, that would be 300,000, almost 300,000 towards renovations and upgrades to buildings we'd be using this year instead of paying them when you do get the bill. And if I am correct, there are no historical buildings registered in Lacey Township, right?
You're right.
All right, well, my suggestion to the Historical Society is.
They better get on it.
Better, all right, because at any given time, they could sell that property.
Well,
And until that time, they need the building department because they need the parking lot there for the museum. So my recommendation is to get on it and preserve that building.
Thank you,
Get it
Ken.
registered as historic.
I told you. Thank you.
Have a good
Appreciate
night.
it. You too. Anyone else from the
For the good of the
public
order.
would like to speak?
Good evening, committee members and Madam Mayor and Lacey citizens. My first question is a business question for Veronica. She may know this. Do we have a sweep account for the money that you have for your accounts?
A what?
A sweep account?
I have a clearing account.
And what interest are you being paid on that right now?
There's never any money in it, so we will put in the clearing account. So tonight's bills that we issued to be paid, the money will be moved into that account tomorrow, and then it's swept out when the checks are issued. I don't know off the top of my head what our interest rate is on any of our accounts. It changes quite often.
Right, because if you had a sweep account right now,
Clearing sweep is the same thing.
it's paying 4.70% interest. And my
I'm not
cousin.
saying that we're not getting that.
Yeah,
can't
I can tell you that. So my cousin, who's a banker out in Las Vegas and watches these meetings, asked me to bring this up and said, if you're not doing that, you can also do a government repo, which is actually paying 5%. And the money can be sweeped like from Friday through Monday. You know how that works. So since we're in a budget thing, he was estimating that we could be making between $700,000 and $800,000 a year in income just on that. So I recommend that you talk to Ocean First. I believe that's the bank you were telling me you're dealing with. Okay, and see what you can do with that. And if not, maybe you should look around at some others. I have a whole list that he gave me of banks in New Jersey which could work for us. So, it's about being able to make as much money as we possibly can on the money that we do have, which is all of our money. So, to start off my address, my big thing here is, again, I'm going to bring up the code of conduct. I've asked for this since December. I'm going to keep bringing it up meeting after meeting until somebody finally does something about it. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is the mayor asked a very reflective question to me at the last meeting. And her question was, do we do anything right? But what you should have been asking yourself is this: am I doing what the citizens of Lacey Township want me to do, or am I doing what I want to do? And I think that if you seriously reflect on this question, the answer will become glaringly obvious. Case in point, you continue down the path of Johnson Controls debacle, knowing you had little to no public support. And this was obviously something that you wanted to do, and not the citizens of Lacey Township. Quite frankly, I don't know of a single solitary soul who wants to see $243,000 of our hard-earned tax monies being thrown down the toilet to Johnson Controls. Number two, the community house sale of property. Obviously, you thought this would get all washed under the rug, but thanks to the due diligence of citizens of Lacey Township, many red flags have been raised. If you truly cared what the citizens of Lacey felt, there would have been a serious public discussion about how this property came into the hands of Lacey Township and the conditions of its gift and its historical significance. If you had, you would have received feedback from the public on how they felt about selling this property and having two historic properties bulldozed, erasing more of our own town's history. You forgot, we, the citizens of Lacey Township, own that property. just like the $243,000 that was wasted on the failed Johnson Controls fiasco. That money could have gone to good use for the many needs in this town, which actually would help the citizens of Lacey Township, like the fire department and the emergency services organizations, etc. I just wanted to remind the Township Committee that when you attack me for questioning the decisions that you are making, you're attacking every single member of the tax-paying public who you are elected to serve. I was stunned when I watched the meeting on video afterwards with the complete shock of the audience of what had transpired. In fact, at the moment it happened, I was completely taken aback. I have never once ever attacked any volunteer organization or anything about our community at large when I was being challenged by the mayor. My criticisms are strictly concerning this public body who is elected by we the people to serve us, the citizens of Lacey Township, and not the other way around. My concerns about overdevelopment and the lack of infrastructure to support it and the traffic are legitimate concerns held by many people in this town. You try to say it's all up to the planning board, but let's be serious, folks. You appoint the members of the planning board, and really, whose bidding are they really doing? Which makes me ask the question, are we truly all in this together? In my honest opinion, I don't really think so. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bender?
High enough, I guess it's high enough. Barry Bender, somewhere in Lacey Township. Quick question and then a comment to be made. The young lady came up and made a comment about the traffic signal, and it was specified a change order to the contract. What was the change?
It was just sometimes once you go out to the site and you actually like open up the ground and you do the work, you know, you find other things. Striping of the road was something that was, the whole entire road of Haynes Street was not initially included in the project, so we added that on.
So it's a monetary increase?
Yeah, there was an increase in this project,
Okay.
yes.
All right, thank you. I don't want to do, so there's a comment, I need to give that to you.
Okay.
And I'll read what's in there. It's actually from me to the Township of Lacey, RE cease and desist demand. Members of the Lacey Township Committee, please cease and desist on any actions regarding the sale of the property presently owned by Lacey Township at the northeast corner of New Jersey State Route 9 and Lacey Road, which include the historic Warden House and the Charles A. Smith Community Hall. This property was bequeathed to the residents of Forked River for their use and enjoyment in the will of the late Charles A. Smith in perpetuity. And the sale of said property would be in violation of the September 21st, 1926 Declaration of Trust filed in Ocean County, in addition to the March 19th, 1934 Township Resolution containing the conditions of the deed transfer to Lacey Township prior to conveyance of $1 agreed upon by Lacey Township and the administrators of the Charles A. Smith Memorial Committee. Regarding Mr. Smith's gifts to Forked River of the Charles A. Smith Community Hall and land, the final March 23, 1934 deed restates the intention of the will, as does the Court of Chancery of New Jersey case number 45-546, dated July 17, 1919, in the New Jersey Title and Guarantee and Trust Company versus Margaret Smith et al. Thank you for your attention in the matter, and it's signed by me, and there's copies on the bottom.
Mr. Bender?
Thank you very much.
Anybody else from the audience that'd like to speak?
Hi,
Hi.
Carol Middlesdorf. Thank you, Madam Mayor and committee members, and I'm reading it because I always mess up if I don't. So last meeting, very disparaging remarks were made about Deer Head Lake that I wanted to touch upon. It was said that now that people have pools, no one's interested in swimming there. I completely disagree.
Thank you.
There are many people in Lacey that don't have pools. And back in the 80s, when my son was little and my parents were older, Deer Head Lake was a perfect place for all of us to cool off and enjoy a safe, fun day, free and close to home, other than the beach badge.
Right.
I think every effort should be made to reopen the lake for swimming, including a comprehensive plan to remove the geese and clean the beach, revamping the dam so it maintains healthy water level like it was before it was renovated, then include daily testing and lifeguards. And you guys can take credit, because during your time in office, you completely fixed and gave something back to the community that needed and was desperately needed. Now with the township over 30,000 residents, it's time to revitalize our natural resources and assets. As much as the Whibbit is a money-making attraction for kids, it's not for small kids and others that would like to enjoy a quiet time at the lake. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Linda Miller, Lacey Township. I agree wholeheartedly with what that young lady said. I pass by that lake every day, a couple times a day, and there are way too many geese in there. And if they keep having children, soon we're not even going to see any water there. So I would appreciate anything that
Not
could
to
be
interrupt you,
done.
but we have tried
I
so
know.
many different times
I
to
know.
do so many different things over the last 10 years especially. It's become an out-of-control situation for us, to tell you the truth.
Well, maybe we could borrow some dogs from the popcorn park soon.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Okay, and last meeting, I was really concerned when it was told how many tax bills and water bills are not being paid in our town. So my question is that on the rise?
It's low. It's extremely low.
It's low?
We have like a 99% tax collection rate. And we have a 99% tax collection rate, and the water and sewer is something under the law we're obligated to collect on their behalf. It gets turned over to us for delinquency. But yeah, it's very low, very, very low.
Okay, all right.
I just had asked for the report this time at the end. We've switched systems, and so it's able to provide us with that type of report that I read.
Okay.
And you know, if you really wanted to get some information, the first Wednesday of the month is the MUA's meeting. They have an open meeting that you're welcome to come and listen to, and you'll see, you know, they run a tight ship over there too, so you're welcome to.
If I could, Mayor?
Sure.
I just want to reiterate again to the commenter that came up prior. This is the only municipality, the only set of zip codes that has 3 bathing beach lakes. We have 3 in our town. Almost all of them pass every week, when they're tested weekly, between Memorial Day and Labor Day. The Deerhead Lake had many, many challenges. It was closed more than it was open. It would take a virtual act of God to get the geese out of there, the undergrowth to be pulled out. It would cost about $1 million for the dam and remediation. I don't think that's good. So everybody in here talks about stewardship of the taxpayer money. I would have to disagree with that because we already have 3 lakes, and all of them except one haven't failed in the entirety of the last season. And where the Whibbit is was the cleanest of the 3. So we've gone above and beyond, I believe, to provide recreational opportunities for people, fishing opportunities for people. So I just stand by the quality of the lakes. I know that because I oversee the testing, so.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, well, my question is, because there's so many geese and every year there's more geese, I don't understand if that Deerhead Lake is polluted and that water does run into the middle lake. That doesn't.
I work with an environmental health coordinator who wrote about 12 bullet points down, and if this progresses, the conversation, I'm going to have him in here to educate this committee. Veronica knows him well. She's on the board at the County Board of Health. He's a resident of Lacey. He will come in and he'll speak behind the microphone if I ask him to do it. Just for education's sake. So I'm here testing what I didn't know what he knew because he's a registered environmental health specialist. That's a pretty difficult license to get. So, look, all I could say is that we have 3 wonderful lakes. They're clean. They are tested all the time. So there's a lot of issues. The undergrowth in there, the fact that people feed in there. Sure, you could hire a company called Geese Police. That's a boatload of money. And they have to come out here all the time. And then you have feeders. And then there's people that say, we can't addle the eggs, so the geese are going to keep being born. I don't want to go on and on and on about it, but we've worked hard on this issue. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Okay, and then one other thing about the Whippet. I'm not sure how that came about to be, when it came about to be, who decided. I know it was part of recreation, because I've already asked over there. When I first saw it, I'm opposed to that only because it isn't for all ages, and our children have to pay to go on it. And the thing that alarmed me the most was so many buses pull up and children from other towns, which I'm happy they want to come, but I wouldn't want to be living on that street where those 6 or 7 buses do come to utilize that Whippet. So I'm just, it's one of those things that I think someone decided, and it wasn't put out to we, the citizens, if that was a good idea.
It was discussed during budget meetings, and you're more than welcome to come to the budget meetings.
And how many years ago was that? Can I just?
6.
6 years ago.
Let me just say something. And we have looked into something for the younger kids. We really have. The problem with that lake and where it is, and we can't move it to anywhere else, is that it drops off so fast. So there's no place that we've looked at putting it to the east a little bit for something for there is something for the little kids. It's just too deep at where that spot is.
Okay,
There's a problem we're well aware of, and every year we do look for solutions for it.
Okay. And if you decide to get something for the younger children, I hope it's not quite as unsightly as that plastic or balloon or whatever it is. Maybe, whatever. Okay, there was something else I wanted to say.
Take your time.
Remember it. But maybe I'll come back up.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public that would like?
Carol Littlestorff again. I'm going to bring out my environmental hat. As an old hippie, Pete Seeger, come on, Hudson River, it got fixed. Don't ask me how, but it means that we really have to work on it, and I'm sure there's people in the community that'll help you. I'll help you. I cleaned up Route 9 in front of my house. I got 10 gallons of garbage by myself. If I need to go chase geese, give me permission, I'll go chase the geese. I can get a team of people. We can have a coffee clutch. We can do anything you want, but get us involved. If we want that beach back, let's all take it together.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, I'm just saying,
Wonderful.
like, there's got to be solutions, and it's going to be bigger than all of you.
Not
It's
to
gonna
be
be-
controversial, but I was the only one here back when we had an initiative to get rid of the geese. And we brought in experts. The only way to get rid of them is euthanizing them, okay, and out of the eggs. We brought in, because you can chase them all you want, they come back, let me explain, and I'll give you, your
But
time is not
I
coming
was-
off. So basically, we had come up with a plan to euthanize them. And the animal rights activists from town and all over, I don't know where, came here with little geese. I mean, they about hung us. So we put that aside. We tried addling the eggs, it didn't help. You can get the geese police, it doesn't help. They come back. You have to kill them.
We have a serious problem even on our school property.
Can we all get involved with this project?
It's the
Can you
DEP that makes the
challenge
rules.
residents
The-
to help do this
When they
with
built
you
the dam,
guys?
when the state built the dam.
I know.
They screwed it up.
I know.
They don't want to fix it. And
Well,
until
then
you-
let's get involved in that.
Let me finish. Until we can get that water moving faster.
Okay.
Because the geese don't like fast water. We get the water moving faster. They have to adjust the dam, and they're not going to do it. They don't want to do it.
Let's have a town hall and let's everybody
You
get
can
involved.
use everything except the water. There's other beaches like that. There's
understand.
recreation areas
I
that we
understand.
watch our movies there.
I would,
I grew up here.
My-
The lake was fabulous.
my recommendation is
Fabulous.
to
They
get-
got
rid of the dock.
Just because you're a roughneck doesn't mean that we need a dock to make it lovely.
my recommendation is,
Lovely place. It was the star back in the 80s when my uncle moved down here, my parents moved down here, I moved down here. It was like, let's go to Deer Head Lake. We had picnics, we had families. It was just a big place to go, and now it's just a big mess. Let's fix it. That's my challenge.
Start with the state and the DEP. That's where you have to start.
That's the challenge, I'll take it.
That's the challenge.
We appreciate it. Thank
Mr.
you.
Manager.
Anyone else from the public? Oh, wait, the young lady?
Young lady
Can
back
you just
there.
get the young lady? Did you want to come up? Hi.
Hi, good evening. I'm Laura Lorton. I'm 317 Eleanor Road. There are a few canisters that were out behind the Warden House, and I wasn't quite sure exactly if anybody knew where they came from and what they were doing. Big, maybe 10-gallon.
Canisters?
Yeah, 3 of them, barrels.
A blue, are they
Drums.
blue?
No.
No?
Black. Yeah, my son saw them, and he said he didn't touch them, but I just was curious if
Oh,
it was something to be worried
I'll
about.
have somebody check it out immediately, but I didn't know anything about it, to be honest with you. I'll get it checked out.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. I don't know if it's stuff they haven't removed yet. Anyone else? Come up.
Tony, we couldn't keep you down.
I still live on Digot Drive. Part two. I know you had a good experience with the chief. I know you had a good experience with the chief. I want to tell you my experience with the chief. I called up the chief's office, I left a message, and I asked him for 2 simple numbers. The number of patrolmen or people on payroll, police officers, and basically the number of hours they work a week. I didn't think that was special information, so I got a call back from the office, a lady, and she questioned me about what group or organization I was with. I informed her I was in town seeking to make a presentation. I told the only organization I was with is me, myself, and I. She told me she was going to talk to the chief and get back. You can time it. I'm still waiting for the chief to call me back.
Well,
2
basically,
simple
you have
numbers.
to put in an OPA request for public documents and ask for specific
Two-
documents.
I figured that was going to be it. So what I did, I went to the police website because I know that's up to date, and I counted every police officer that was there because I wanted to do a little math for you guys. So I figured there's 40 officers there, 40 hours a week, 1,600 hours. I went to the website, and I hut and peck. That's how I did it. I did the last police blotter. It took me roughly over a half hour to type everything out. So let's use an hour as a base, because they're probably much slower than I am. So 16 hours, I figure 1% is 16 hours. Basically, if they could do it in 4 hours, we're talking 0.25% of the police payroll. And this was probably low because there was only 40 officers up there. So I don't think we're asking too much to do this every week. 0.25% is 4 hours. Now, I figured that out. If you get a new recruit, he makes over 50-something a year. I saw it in a paper. I broke it out. My math's pretty decent. He makes $26.75 an hour. It's a little over $100 to do the basic police blotter a week. Now, if you guys don't have that kind of money to inform the residents of this town, that's sad. That is really sad. And like I said, not get a call back. Just call me back and say, get lost, Tony. I have no problem with that. But like I said, it's just, I'm going to use the word, it's SOP. My wife gave me that one. And it seems like that you do it, you don't return. He does it. It seems like it's the county didn't do it. Just don't answer the call and you can't be wrong. Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution?
Okay.
Resolution 2024-89, resolution of Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the convening of an executive session in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. No further business.
Yeah, we say.